Hey everyone, what's up? It's Ollie, not Randy, it's the better version. But welcome to the Survivor Now pre-show where we get hyped for the next episode of Survivor. I am joined by always by the lovely Avery and Tori. Avery, how are you doing today?
I'm good. If you guys didn't notice, I haven't been here in a second. I was on spring break, so I'm sorry, guys. I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor basically, but in a hotel instead of sleeping on bamboo.
Fair. I was going to say, that's always good. And Tori, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm super excited to talk about last week's episode. And we also have Atlanta coming up, which I don't know if we're going to talk about later, but I'm super excited for that too.
Guys, don't make me sad.
We're going to miss you and Ollie.
Bruh,
I was going to say, Avery, at least it's not like across the whole ocean for you. So don't worry.
I know. I just am not old enough. I have to wait until 51.
Well then, hopefully by then we'll still be doing it. But we obviously have got this episode to talk about, but we will kind of delve into what happened last episode. We've already got some people in the chat. Gabe is ready for the split double tribal tonight, and someone will be the last pre-jury boo. But we will get on into all of that. But first, we've got to talk about last episode because it was the not merge episode. So Avery, you weren't here last week, so tell us, what did you think about the episode overall?
Honestly, I feel like the tribal was a little like underwhelming. Like I wish it was like a bigger move. Like I feel like I saw like Charity going home. Like I saw that coming for like a while now. But other than that, I mean, I liked the challenge and talking about all the food to everyone. I was like cracking up. I'm like, oh my gosh, they must be so annoyed. Like you're sitting here in their face, like we had nachos. I was like, damn girl. Oh my gosh. But overall it was a pretty good episode. I think I just wish it was a bigger move, but I know like we're right at the start of the merge, so like obviously people are trying to play it safe. Hopefully tonight is crazy. I'm excited for it.
I think it will be. Tori, what did you think about the episode?
So I actually had predicted on the podcast last week that Say would go home. So part of me was like, is this going to happen? Like, is everyone going to be surprised? Is my prediction going to come true? So part of me was, maybe thinking that was going to happen. But yeah, overall, I mean, it sounds like a lot of people sort of expected Charity. And I could see her being on the outs as well. So kind of agree with Avery. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting tribal. The Say moments were really fun. I was absolutely loving the moment where they first came together on Merge Beach or almost Merge Beach, and Say was like, I'm so excited to work with
Say Mary dynamic.
And then it cuts to Mary being like, oh my gosh, I'm dreading being on this beach.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite moments for sure. So
that was a good one.
Definitely some good moments.
Yeah, that was such a funny moment. Before we get into more things, we've got some questions and everything to go through. There is one thing we've got to do, which I may have slipped my mind, but it's because I just don't want to listen to this intro, and it is the not horror icebreaker. So for those that don't know, we will do this little icebreaker now, and I don't have to do it this time. It's Avery and Tori that have to do it. So for this icebreaker, you guys will be runners up. So people that almost won, and you've got to rank them from 1 to 5. So are you ready?
I think so. Let's do this.
I'm scared.
I've got the notes. So the first person is Ozzy, Cook Islands.
Okay, I'm obsessed with Ozzy.
Me too.
He's one of my favorite players ever. However, do we want to go number 1 right away? I feel like someone else is going to come up. I know you're a big Woo fan, so what if Woo comes up,
I think we should make him 2.
I feel good about 2. Let's do 2.
Okay, 2.
So you're going to put Ozzy at number 2. Okay, then. Next up, we have from Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, Chrissy.
I really liked her. I thought she was a beast at challenges. However, not my favorite season of all time.
Me neither. I agree with that.
Like that is sort of influencing my decision right now. What do we think about like 4 or 5? What do you think, Avery?
I think 4 because I fear there could be worse.
Okay, I would agree. Let's do 4.
Okay.
Okay, so you're putting Chrissy at number 4. Next up, we have Dominic from Ghost Island.
Love Dominic. Oh my
Now
gosh,
I'm trying to
this is
think.
hard. This
This
really
is hard. It's getting harder.
This is high. So like obviously he was the closest out of all of these to actually winning.
Right.
Do we do 3?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
But now I'm scared.
I'm scared
So
too.
you're putting Dominic at 3.
Yes.
You've only got 2. You've got first and 5th.
All your face, you're
Oh
scaring
my
me.
gosh. I feel like we may have messed up, but
I fear.
The next person is Kelly Wigglesworth, all the way back from season 1 Borneo.
my girl.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I can put her at 5.
I don't know either. I mean,
That would be really messed up.
She was so close to winning.
I know.
But like, there's like a couple in my mind that are better.
Oh, me too.
I wouldn't like out of this list. I feel like she goes higher, but like I feel like we go 5 with her.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
Okay,
scared though. I love her though. If you're watching, I love you.
So where are you putting Kelly?
5.
5. Okay. So that means I'm not going to reveal the final person yet because you put them automatically at number 1. So you are saying that Kelly Wigglesworth is number 5, Chrissy is number 4, Dominic is number 3, Ozzy is number 2, and at your top spot, number 1.
Oh, he screwed us. I just know it.
Is Charlie from 46.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I feel actually good about.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
I
Okay,
love
that
Charlie.
list actually kind of worked out. Except I would probably put Kelly Wigglesworth higher just because.
I agree.
You know,
I agree. I would like put her at like 3 and then like knock the other 2.
Okay, Avery, we kind of crushed it.
So you're happy with your picks?
I'm okay with this.
Overall, yes, I can feel good about that.
Okay then. Well, that is the icebreaker done. Well done, girls. You did very well. Obviously, my face was given away because I knew who the answers.
Oh my gosh, you were freaking me out.
You were scaring me. I was like afraid. Like
I can't help it. It's just my face. But we are going to move on now because obviously we have got this episode to talk about. So obviously, from what we see, it looks like there is a split tribal.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, how are you feeling about split tribals? I kind of like the fact that there is this demerge sort of situation. We don't know yet if one's going to go to the jury, one's going to stay, both are going to, like, we don't know. Avery, what are you kind of hoping happens with the situation?
I feel like, oh my gosh. Like, I feel like it always makes me just a little bit nervous because, like, I can't, like, I don't know, like, exactly how everyone's going to be feeling and how it's exactly going to look with everyone on each tribal, because, like, it can definitely, like, screw some people, like, for sure. Like, if Say is put with Eva, like, that's going to be a bit much. But I'm a little nervous. I'm hoping, though, that, like, one goes to the jury. I just don't know, like, how that would be decided.
Well, obviously, previously what's happened is whichever tribe, so they'll do the challenge and then whoever lasts the longest, their tribe will go second. And obviously, normally it's sometimes been like the first tribe will not have the person go to the jury, the second person will. There's always been that thing. Tori, how do you feel about it when that kind of comes up? Because I personally don't like it. I would appreciate both of them being on jury. I can see why they do it for the drama, but I also know if I was in that pre-jury spot, I would probably be cursing out CBS, but that's just me.
I agree.
Yeah, I think I agree with you both on a lot of things. It's not my least favorite twist that they've come up with in the new era. I mean, of all of the twists that they've introduced, it's like low on my list to get rid of because it does create, as Ollie said, and Avery, you kind of said this too, I think, it creates some drama. There's some strategy involved. I mean, I'm thinking back to, I think it was 44, and everyone's like, oh, it would have been better for Franny to throw that challenge so that she could there was like a way for her to save her man. And like it didn't work out that way. And so he ended up, I think, going home that night. I don't know. Anyway, there's like different levels of strategy involved in this particular twist. However, it's just one of those things that like kind of takes away from like, okay, so you work so hard to build these relationships, and then if you end up on a tribe or like in a group without the people that you've built those relationships with, it just kind of screws you over.
Right.
Right. Luck of the draw, right? So it's just a little bit unfair. And I get, like Survivor's all about luck. Like nothing's gonna be fair on Survivor.
Yeah. Totally
get it. But this just seems a little too unfair sometimes.
I agree.
Yeah. Same. I mean, we've got some comments in the chat going on. Adrian kind of says, not going to lie, it sucks to be the person that was voted out, not only if it's a split tribe or merge, but also one jury spot. And I completely agree. Gabe kind of brings up a good point. They don't want a giant jury anymore, which I understand, but also like it's final 11 out of 18. Like,
right. It's not really like that many people. Like, let's be for real here.
Yeah. And Hollow is, if Say goes home, the watchability of the season will go way down. That brings us on to a very good segment because we asked, you voted. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, on our Instagram, we post some polls beforehand for our pre-jury section. Randy took this from me, so I'm just taking full credibility and trademarking it. But we did have some questions going on our X account. So if you don't already, follow us on Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast, because every Wednesday we will have these polls. And the first one was, has Say had her last chance call? That begs the question. So I'm going to ask both of you lovely ladies first. Avery, has Say had her last chance?
I feel like she was getting on too many people's nerves. I'm a little nervous for her. I feel like it's possible. It really just depends where she's like sitting tonight, who she's sitting with tonight.
Mm-hmm. And Tori?
Yeah, I agree with Avery. I believe on Instagram I voted that she would somehow dodge this one again. I mean, she's gotten so good at dodging these tribals. I mean, she's gotten out of some crazy situations.
I definitely think some people have bigger fish to fry. Like, I feel like some people definitely have bigger targets they'd rather get out in a smaller tribal setting.
And it's getting to the point now. So, like, I don't know. It's funny the way that you play with someone like Say that's maybe rubbing some people the wrong way and stuff like that. However, she is very fun to watch. So I agree with whoever said that earlier. But it's interesting when you get kind of to this point in the game where it's like, do I just keep her around and like kind of try to go to the end with her? Because, I mean, it's kind of like, oh, is she going to be like a no vote finalist? That might be what some of the players are thinking. They might be like kind of looking ahead to that point. But, it's also risky to bring someone like her along because like she's playing, really hard, really strong. Yeah. I think she's playing strong. So I don't know.
Well, I can tell you that the results were that 63% said no, her journey will not end. So people on socials are feeling pretty optimistic. Yeah. In the chat, Hollow is still worried for her. And Adrian kind of says that they're going to be optimistic and say that Say has 9 lives.
She also has an idol.
Does she?
Yeah, she said last episode.
I don't think she has an idol, babe.
She literally said last episode, Eva has an idol and I have an
idol. Eva hasn't. I know Eva has an idol. I don't know if Say has an idol.
I swear she said she had an idol. Oh. I don't remember her getting it, though.
I was going to say, I don't remember her getting it either.
It's like, that makes me worried because I have something and I don't want, like, her to have something. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong or not.
I was going to say, chat, let us know. Remember. Let us know, because I don't really remember that, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember either. But now I'm like, wait, I don't know.
I do have
not embarrass myself over here.
It's all right. I do have a question, though, and I think it was you, Avery, that said it. Is this the moment, though, to make a move? Do you think we're going to see a big move be made? Because obviously...
I feel like it's possible. Because, see, here's the thing. If it were me and I'm on, like, with a smaller amount of people at Tribal Council, and normally we have a larger amount of people in the merge, I think that if I'm with good people, I'd want to make a big move because that's the time to do it when you don't have as many other people to worry about. Logically, in my mind, I feel like there may be a big move tonight, but you never know because they could just like all get like mumble jumble like mixed up and like it doesn't end up being enough people to really do like achieve a huge move.
Yeah.
I think two things also.
Okay, apparently she doesn't have an idol, y'all. It's just that she had an advantage.
I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
I know she got the advantage.
Okay, that's what she was talking about because I was a little confused about it. I was like, what does she have?
Okay.
It was
yeah,
just
I was
advantage.
confused too, but I appreciate people clearing that up. But I think as far as the moves for tonight, I think a couple of things. So Avery makes some great points. One, it will be interesting to see what happens in general with like the Integrity Alliance of like David, Joe, Eva, etc. Because they're trying to make like that strong person alliance. But then like Kyle's like, well, I'm with Camilla, but nobody knows like how close I am with her. So it'll be interesting to see like if Kyle and Camilla make a move with other people against the Integrity
I know they mentioned Shaheen.
Wait, what?
There was in the promo, it was Camilla saying they're going to frame Shaheen for something. But
okay, yeah, I remember that. So that'll be interesting, but then it would also be really fun to see like all of those people that have that alliance on this in the same group for the split tribal
to see what happens, and also like I feel like them saying they're gonna frame him. Like obviously, I don't feel like that's like voting him out. I just think they're trying to make it seem like whoever they want to vote is his idea. So I'm curious to see who that's going to be.
Yeah. And also Sheila in the chat. Hi, Sheila, by the way. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. Say said she doesn't want anyone to have an idol except for her. So I think maybe that's what you heard.
Wrong. Yeah.
You did bring up something though, Tori, that I need to ask both of you about because it was a hot topic on social media. Like when I got something for you that everyone doesn't know, we do it on a Saturday. Come watch us. I browse all the social media. Everyone was so passionate about the Honest and Integrity Alliance. Everyone had an opinion. So I'm intrigued to know how you both feel about this, the big physical threats coming together. So Avery, how do you feel about it?
Honestly, I like it. I feel like we don't see it a lot because a lot of people just, want to get them out because of the individual immunity challenge. And I'd be excited to see if they do like end up like if this does work and they do end up getting far together. I'd be really excited to see them all like fight to the death at the end because it's gonna be a bit more interesting than having it kind of like mixed up and then like someone like Ozzy just like kicking butt, like so I feel like and I obviously, like, you guys know I love Wu, and he was very like honest, like that was his whole thing. He was like, I'm not gonna sit here and like not be who I am. And I'm honestly excited to see where that goes. Like it makes me a little bit happy because I definitely I don't think we see it as much as like I would hope, because I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm a little nervous for tonight about it because I'm really liking it personally.
Yeah. Tori, you go before I do.
Yeah, so I have mixed feelings because I like all of the people in the Strong Person Alliance. And typically, for whatever reason, I think it's because I don't know, a lot of times the strong people that are dominating in challenges, the Aussies, the Woos, those people, they tend to get a good edit. And so we end up like loving them as characters. And in general, I'm loving all of the strong people this season. And so I tend to like root for those people for whatever reason. So yeah, I really like them as people. However, people were making some good points on social media that I agreed with in saying things like, okay, so if a strategic puzzler makes it to the end and wins, is this to say that those people don't deserve to win? Or didn't play the game as hard.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Are just physically strong. So for that reason, I'm kind of like, so are you saying that all the people that aren't super buff like don't deserve to be here, don't deserve to win? I'm just not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I get
so
that.
I'll get to the chat first actually, and then I'll say my points. Because actually Gemini said it. He thinks it's funny that David said he doesn't want a puzzle person and then was the one to solve the puzzle with Camilla. I will say I did playfully say that to him. So he's fully aware of that. And kind of Gabe makes a good point here. I don't hate the physical threats building an alliance. Protect each other, not to be picked off, which is fair. Just the mateship mentality is what Gabe doesn't agree with. So I did actually have a conversation with David, and I'm not going to just spill the beans, everything that was said. But the reason I bring that up is because he did actually make a very good point, which I kind of then understood in the sense of when you vote out one archetype, no matter what happens, another person is just going to fill that archetype. So it's like perfect example was 46. Everyone was getting rid of the physical threats. And then obviously Maria, who may not be a quote unquote, someone that looks to be a physical threat, kind of came in and started dominating the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when people are saying, oh, these people, like you're saying that these people don't deserve it. And I kind of want to say, I don't think David is saying a certain person or physical appearance or what they assume to be isn't deserving.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we have seen is people who maybe at the start of a season came into the game a certain archetype, was able just to fill their roles, and people weren't going, oh, they're actually a physical threat.
See, like, I think it's just as somebody gets knocked off the top, somebody else is moving up.
Yeah.
And if they all get voted out, somebody is going to be the top challenge threat. That's just how it's going to go. Just like if they like try to get a bunch of puzzle people out, someone's gonna become the top person in puzzles. Like it's just
David.
Yeah. David.
Very true.
David is 2 for 2. Like
right.
He's showing it's not just milk up there. Like I'm proud of him. But speaking of David and kind of obviously challenges, we did have another question on our poll, which was obviously the grand old who wins individual immunity tonight. The 3 choices personally were Kyle, Camilla, and Star, and then someone else. So I'm going to go to Tori first. Tori, what do you think?
So I voted for someone else, not for any particular reason.
Okay.
I do think that Kyle could win again. I just think that he may be thinking strategically in the sense of if I continue to dominate in challenges, the second I lose, they're gonna try to get me out. So maybe he will try not to win this one. I'm not sure who I have actually winning the challenge. I could see Mary pulling it off randomly or something like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure. We'll go Mary because
I would love a Mary win, but that's just me. Avery, what do you think?
So here's the thing with me, right? We've had one individual challenge, and obviously it was a balance challenge. As somebody who's done a balance challenge before and competed against somebody who seemed to be way stronger than me, it's very different. So it really depends. If you're looking at a full season, it's not obviously all the same types of challenges. So there are those people that do just kill it at every single thing. But I do feel like it's a possibility to be somebody else. Just, specifically depending, really, truly, it depends each episode. What is this challenge going to be? Because you're not in a group anymore. You're by yourself. So it's really what you're good at. If this was more of an endurance thing, if it was me on the show, I probably would not win like I could in a balance challenge. So I don't know that it's gonna be Kyle. I could see it for sure because he is strong. He is pretty good. So I could see it happening. But honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with the Mary because I just really would love to see her win. I just loved her. I would
love to see Mary win.
Yeah.
That's why I picked her first for my draft. I love Mary. But I will get to the results, which were 45% said someone else, 19% said Kyle, 12% said Star, and no one said Camilla. No one had faith in Camilla.
Come on, guys.
I think I understand though why there's someone else, and actually it was Hollow that put it in the chat. I have a feeling Mitch could pull out the immunity because it goes back to something you said, Avery, which is killing it at every single thing. If there is someone that has shown how strong they are overall, I feel like Mitch has shown that because he has been a really strong kind of physical presence, which makes me shocked that he is not in the quote unquote physical threats alliance. Because
so true.
No lie, I think Mitch has shown every one of those people up at some point.
I feel like also like David, like it's possible. Because like you
Yeah.
saw him last episode, like he's not sitting here just getting himself through these like wood chips. He's literally sitting here pushing as much as he can beside. Like these flying away, these wood chips was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, like he's really getting that out of there. Like, and the puzzle and his strength. Like I feel like he's a possibility too, because he did do well in the balancing challenge. He did do well at that. So I could definitely see that happening for sure as well.
Well, he was definitely someone in the promo that was flaunting his skills when he was there, going like that. I was like,
that is true.
That is true. So should we take a little bit of a break and then kind of continue discussing, because we have got 2 other questions to discuss, which were which podcaster do we think would do the best in Survivor?
If it's not me, I'll cry.
And I've got all of the results here and who we think is going home. So let's hear from our friends from Bracketology and we will see you right back.
Think you're the most knowledgeable Survivor superfan? Well, you can put that to the test with our Fantasy Survivor game. Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. We provide fantasy football style games for your favorite shows like Survivor and many more. We also have bracket style elimination challenges. Set your picks once for the whole season to see how your prediction skills fared. And don't forget to check out the season extras like contestant info, where you can see all the bios of each contestant, and our scoring recaps that are published each episode. Download the Bracketology mobile app or play on your computer at fantasy.bracketology.tv. It's entirely free to play, and you can win some awesome prizes. Good luck.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you were able just to grab a quick drink because you need it. We are obviously getting ready for the next episode of Survivor, and we are here to ramp you up. Will Wild West, in the comments. Fingers crossed for Say to win immunity. And yes, you are right, West. It is a double elimination tonight. 2 people are going home. So we've got a question here. We haven't got the graphics. I am going to say this now. I've got all the answers. Randy sent me all of the things, so I wrote everything down, and I also saw who voted for who. So the question was, which I was going to call you out at some point. Don't worry. So
sorry.
The question was, which podcaster do you think would do the best on Survivor? And I have the results right here. So
I'm probably last place.
Would you ladies love to know?
Yes, I would love to.
I would love to know.
So I can tell you now, with 1 vote, it was not Phil, Will, Josh, or Tori. You all got 1 vote. And I will say, Tori was very honourable. I saw your response. She did not vote for herself. With 2 points, Matthew and Pickle were not it. And Cara got 2 points.
Okay.
With 5 points, it's not me, but I do appreciate the 5 people that voted for me. I saw all of your names, and Adrian. Technically, if we count Adrian, I then have 6 points. And also, West would vote for Tori, so you technically have 2 points.
Thanks, West.
I'm gonna change that now to 2 points for you, and I'm gonna change it to myself to 6 because I can. But I can tell you, obviously, it's now between Avery and Tegwith.
Stop.
Yes, hi Avery.
And you both got 6 votes apiece. So you are technically tied.
But I voted for myself, so I'll give it to Tegwith.
So we will give it to Tegwith. So congratulations, Tegwith. You are the fans' vote for which podcaster we think will do the best. But Avery, we would be at that final tribal council. We just wouldn't be winning. So at least we weren't voted off.
Okay.
Proud of you.
I probably would have gotten 2nd place though.
I don't know about that one. But we do have Cara. Cara's in the chat saying 2 points crew. Cara, I will text you who those people were. Don't you worry. So we're going to move on a little bit though, because before we get to the next kind of question, we've obviously this season has been the season of duos. And I think with this tribal that's coming up, obviously there is a chance that a lot of the duos could kind of break and falter. Do we see any of the duos turning on each other this round? So I'm going to just throw out some examples of obviously Joe and Eva. You've got Kyle and Camilla. You've got David and Milk. Like, which duo from your brain do you think could do well here, or do well, or even just kind of falter and crumble and bah?
I just see Kyle and Camilla doing something against the strong alliance. Maybe not this episode, but I do think the first duo to get separated, maybe not because one turns on the other, but because of a vote out, is Joe and Eva. And I think it's going to be Joe that goes first and Eva soon to follow. Just because, like, people have seen how close they are. They see that they're both strong competitors. They see that they both have great personalities that could actually win in the end. Like, there's just so many qualities, and they're too much of a threat alone, let alone together. So that's what I think is going to be the first one to sort of go their separate ways. Again, not because they necessarily decide it for themselves, but because other people decide for them.
I completely agree. Although I will say, like, Kyle and Camilla are doing, I agree with this because Kyle and Camilla are doing a pretty good job at, like, keeping this a secret, because everyone's talking about how close Joe and Eva are, and it makes me sad because I do truly love this duo. Like, I really appreciate them, and like how like kind Joe has been, and I think it's just like a beautiful friendship. So it does make me sad, but I do unfortunately have to agree that I do think, unfortunately, due to other people, it is going to end up crumbling. Like, it is going to end up, they're going to be separate in some way, and someone's going to get voted out, and it's going to be a shock and sad and crazy. And I do think it's going to be Joe first as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely kind of see Joe and Eva's kind of duo going first. I am a little worried for Camilla and Kyle, just because obviously of the promo, but that is just kind of like me overthinking and overreading a promo.
I get it.
I do just want to pull out Taylor's comment here. Yes, David and Milk. If we're going to talk about a duo that has been prominent this entire season, David and Milk.
That's the most like close friendship of a duo I've ever seen in the
never seen anything like it.
Never.
Apparently, Joe and Milk too. Like a gallon a day.
Like, okay, a gallon of milk a day isn't.
Do you? I could never.
I do. Like,
I mean, as Shaheen said, it makes the pecs. It helps him with his pecs.
Guys,
that must
like
be
how much how much milk do you guys drink each week?
Not that much.
I don't think I drink any. Maybe
I think I drink like
coffee, but even then it's like oat milk or almond milk.
I think I do like a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half of whole milk each week.
Okay, David.
That's a lot, but a day.
I love it. I'm sorry. I always drink it.
Clearly, you, David and Joe, you would be in that alliance purely for that reason.
You would.
I always like to say that I didn't like dairy so much, I made myself lactose intolerant. So that's all I have to say.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Speaking of milk, I feel like I have to ask you this. Because I don't know, have you both heard of the tribe name? They have announced the tribe name.
I haven't.
It means milk.
It means cow's milk.
Are you serious?
I'm being dead serious. I have had it confirmed. It is cow's milk.
Wait, what is it?
It's like Nui or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Now Nui, Nainui, but it means cow's milk.
Fire.
I died. Rest assured, there will be reactions on social media about it that I will be clocking from everyone. I love the fact that everyone in the chat as well is just going on about milk.
I want to know.
Adrian said this week, if David and Joe do not do a shirtless Got Milk campaign after the season, remember that I know David watches the podcast because he is my frenemy. So David, make this happen, please.
Also, David, shout out. I was talking to him on social media this week too, and I definitely told him he's more of a hero than a villain, which I think, can we all agree on that? He's more of a hero?
No.
I love David.
Me and David have a lovely rivalry. So
okay, in your personal life.
I love David.
I have to say no.
Guys, I relate to David way too much.
Yeah. Well, you obviously, because you're obsessed with milk, just like he is.
I'm not going to get over David, but
we'll get into it after.
We will get into it after. Wes, 2% milk only though. That's going to be interesting. And Adrian, I like milk, but I am starting to enjoy almond milk. Nice chai latte.
I don't like almond milk and chai, and I can tell you this because I do want to bring every day.
I do want to bring this comment up. It is better than Murica and No Bag, at least. Like, they're better names. So we're going to move on because we have got one more question, which is, who do you think is going home tonight? Now, I will say, chat, fans, people watching, well done, because you did get it right. You did correctly predict that Charity was going home. So it is 2 for 2, I do believe. I believe they're at 2 for 2. So before I get to the results, Avery.
No, don't ask me first. Anything.
Avery.
No.
Avery.
Holly,
who do you think is going home?
All right. There's 2 people.
Well, it is a double tribal, so you can pick 2 people.
No, like, let me just, that's a little helpful because I always get it wrong every single time. I don't think I've ever gotten it right yet, so.
I think I've got it right once.
I'm going to go Cedric and Joe. Opposite sides.
Cedric and Joe.
Yep.
Okay. Tori?
So I was actually also going to say Cedric, which I'm a little hesitant on just because
Me too.
It's kind of like what I was saying earlier. People might be thinking like, well, he's not going to beat us in a challenge. No offense, Cedric, but they've, seen that they can probably outdo him in a lot of different challenges. And so they might be thinking like, let's keep him around so we can, maybe win some of these things, be immune. But I do think I'll say Cedric still, just because, there's reasons that they would still go for him. And then the other person is really having me stumped. Not to totally copy Avery, but I might say Joe as well for reasons that I brought up earlier also. Like, they might want to split up that duo and see, like, this guy is way too likable and way too strong.
Right.
Get him gone.
Fair. I'm going to go with a wild card answer here because, funny enough, the last time I did a wild card answer, it was actually right because I correctly said Justin. I'm going to go with Star.
Okay.
Just because I feel like we did have a really big breakout episode from Star last episode, which I loved. Yeah. The moment between her and Cedric and kind of how Star was able, like, it when it came to Charity being the boot, Star kind of was the one that was the domino effect. She was the one that did it. So I'm going to go with Star, just because I think as well in terms of edit, I feel like they could be pushing this. She gets either jury or the final pre-boot. And after that, I don't know. I kind of want to agree with Cedric. I just feel like in terms of the relationships, he could be someone that could be an easy vote.
Yeah. I just think in terms of edit for sure, going back to me and Tori saying Joe, and him going home, I feel like just looking at it, at least in my mind, and I don't study the edit a crazy amount, probably not as much as I should, but I just think that looking at it, I feel like he's going home a good bit before Eva.
That's
I can definitely see that.
Well, before I get to the results, Adrian in the chat says that they're going to go with Chrissy and Kyle. They think the framing Shaheen could backfire. And Chrissy, I think edit is giving kind of DP boot, which I think is fair. Yeah. I can reveal that Chrissy did get the most votes this round with 7. So technically your lock-in vote is Chrissy. And the reason that we're just going to have one look-in vote for the fans is because the second place person was Say. So it goes Chrissy with 7, Say with 6, Camilla and Cedric had 4, Kyle and Mitch had 3, Shaheen had 2, and Eva had 1. So those were all of the predictions. How do we feel about that? How do we feel that Chrissy is the one that got the most votes? Are you worried for Chrissy?
No, I think I was thinking about Chrissy as I was going through people in my head when I was just about to say my answers. And I think that Chrissy is, and much love to Chrissy, this is not me shading you, just based on like what we're seeing on the show. It just feels like she's one of those people that, again, like they might keep around for a little longer. Just like someone, maybe not like all the way to the end, but just someone that like is a sure thing to like kind of beat in challenges. She seems like she kind of like is a number for people. Like, I don't know. Do we know if she's like super close with anyone? I don't really think that she is.
She doesn't have like as much of an edit as everyone else. And I feel like I do agree with you though. Like, I think that she's somebody that like personally, like I would keep a little longer. Like, I'm not bringing really, I don't know, like that I'd bring her to the end, but I just think that keeping her until it's a smaller try would be smart because we haven't seen a lot out of her. And I think that that's going to like help whoever is really like trying to get to the end.
Yeah, I mean,
those like lower people that aren't in this strong alliance might like team up with her. Like, she's a number for like
exactly
is my thought as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of unsure with Chrissy. I think obviously I know that she is kind of close with Cedric. Her and Cedric have kind of had this thing. I can't remember because we had a couple of promos come out, and I know that Shaheen said that the people that were on the bottom were Mitch, Cedric, and I want to say, obviously, Say, potentially Chrissy, though. So it's unsure, but I definitely am worried for Chrissy. I do just want to shout out Jay because he thinks we all look nice. So thank you.
Thanks.
We dressed up just for you.
Yes, my Bears sweatshirt, only a Chicago.
You got to do it. Obviously, we are getting close to the episode now. We are 15 minutes away. So I just want to get your last kind of thoughts on how you're feeling about this episode. Do you have any predictions on what could happen tonight? And I'm going to go to Tori first.
Predictions on what could happen tonight. I think that we are going to see, I mean, I feel like this is sort of like my theme for the podcast this week, but I just feel like we're going to see the emergence, if that's the word, of a new alliance outside of the one that we saw emerge last week of, I don't want to call them the weaker players, but they're seen as like the weaker players, or kind of like the more strategic, the smarter, the not as physically strong, whatever you want to call them. I think we're going to see an alliance form of those people. And I am excited to see that development of new relationships. Yeah. I'm hoping, I mean, I know that we all kind of know that we're pretty much going to get a split tribal, but I'm hoping that that's kind of like the only twist that we see. I'm more interested in seeing, like, I just feel like this hasn't been the most heavy, like, advantage season, but we've gotten a lot of that. And I feel like we have missed out on some of the relationships other than like the Eva and Joe and like the alliance that they've kind of formed. I feel like we're missing out on some of the players. Like, I feel like I still don't really know them a lot. Or I still feel like I don't really know a lot of them. And so I am excited to hopefully see a little bit more of some people like Chrissy, and we're getting more of Star, but continuing to see Star.
Yeah. I completely agree. Like, I really do want to see more because it's like hard, obviously, because like my winner pick already went home. So it's hard for me to it's been hard for me to kind of like decide. My winner pick is Kevin.
Oh.
It's hard for me to kind of like decide really like who I'm rooting for when I'm not really seeing everyone. Like, I want to like go more into their lives. Like, I know last season like we had like a huge thing with Sue and like her life, and I want to see more of that. Like, I want to be able to like connect more with them. So I'm really hoping that we get some of that tonight, or at least like next week. Like, please guys, like Survivor CBS, if you're watching this, like just like re-edit the episode, like if we didn't, like for me, like thank you, I appreciate it.
Just for Avery, guys.
Just guys, like come on, please. But no, I do agree though. I think we're gonna see a new alliance form. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. I'm interested to see if they're gonna leave anybody out. And I did see a comment, Ollie, if you can pull it up, about them saying that Kyle and Camilla might get screwed over. And I do agree with that. I do think it's
possible. Not. Kyle's
was it Adrian's comment in regards to thinking it's going to backfire somehow?
Yeah, I feel like just because it was like right after the episode, they're like, we're framing him. I was like, is that going to work out? Because I feel like in the past we've seen like in like the little like sneak peeks things, they're like, oh, we're going to do this. And then like they kind of get they mess it up somehow. So I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to do it. I'm interested.
I will say if it does backfire, I do hope it backfires on Kyle just because Camilla's in my draft. But that's just my bias.
Fair point.
That's my bias.
For Kyle.
I do have one more. Well, I have two more questions. One's from the chat, but another one here. Yes or no? Is Eva going to play her idol? Or I can elaborate. Is anyone going to find and play an idol this episode?
I don't think Eva's going to play her idol tonight.
No, not either. I'm going off my gut, which is always wrong, so that means it'll probably happen.
Yeah, same. I've been kind of wrong about my predictions this season, other than the first boot. I was
ever since like I came on last season, and then I've literally never gotten anything right.
It's all right. Randy's never got anything right either, so don't worry. You're in good company. I do have this question though from Dakota Anderson in the chat, and it is: who do you think will win immediately? Like right now, who is your kind of winner pick going into? And that's how I'm choosing to assume this is what you meant, Dakota. I hope this is what you meant. So right now, who do you think will win?
I want to say Kyle because he was my preseason winner pick, and I still think he has a shot. Like I think he could win, but something is telling me that like Mary's gonna kind of like, I don't know. It might be Mary. I'm gonna say Mary. Let's do it.
I think I'm gonna go against like most thoughts and like things we talked about this episode, and I'm gonna say Eva just because I feel it in my gut, and her edit is beautiful, and I love her. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Eva makes it through this little rough patch with people trying to vote her out, and I'm going to say she makes it through.
I love that.
Okay. I mean, I'm always on the Mary hype train. I'm on the Camilla hype train. I'm on the Shaheen hype train. That is my draft. I love all three of you. I am kind of... my preseason pick was Mary, so I'm kind of wanting to still stick with that. There is someone else I have in mind, possibly, but I need to see if they survive this double tribal first. So that's kind of where I'm going with it.
Are you able to tell us?
No.
Ollie, what the heck?
No.
You know what?
I'm going to tell you. I will tell you off camera. I will tell you off camera.
You just don't want the record. I get it.
But I will just show a couple more comments before we wrap up here. Jay predicts that Mitch will use his blocker vote and Say will find and use an idol. So that's a potential thing.
I like that.
I can see that. Before we go though, I do just need to remind you guys that Survivor Now is going to be live on April 16th at the Ron Clark Academy. Randy, Matthew, Tori, and I believe Cara is going to try and be there. They will be She is going to be there. Confirmed. So you're going to have Randy, Matthew, Tori, and Cara. All four of them are going to be at the Ron Clark Academy hosting a live pre-show, getting thoughts from everyone, possibly speaking to past players, jealous, and just getting them hyped forever. But Avery, it does mean we get a night off. So that's the silver lining.
No, I mean, it's not a silver lining because I've like actually been off so many nights this season because I've been so busy.
Yeah,
that's it. I haven't. So
I like talking pre-show with the pre-show people.
We can still have Randy.
Really
like, don't have your heart too broken. Me and Ollie will just
I know. I won't, but like I will.
If you want, I will force Randy to try and put me and Avery on like a big screen in like the corner, and we're just like
that would be amazing. I would love that. Maybe I'll FaceTime you guys in. I'll just like hold my phone like as.
Do you know what? We'll try and see. We'll make up a lie and say that I am a contestant from Survivor UK and see if they believe it. Perfect.
Let's do it. I'm all for lying for the sake of having you on.
Thank you. But that is the Ron Clark Academy. Amazing. I have seen what they do. It is like that is an event I would love to go to. So Ron Clark, if you are watching, I do want to try and get there one time.
Ollie, when it's like season 51 and I'm finally 21, you have to come.
Okay. Brilliant. That's fine. Obviously, we do have a load more things coming up, though, guys. Please remember, right after the episode, we do have the after show. Tonight, that is going to be with Josh, Abraham, and Bruce. Randy will not be able to be there, but you will still have all three of the guys reacting to the episode, giving you all their thoughts on everything that transpires. Remember that Stockwatch is on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with the lovely Will and Josh. We've also got something for you where that's myself, Phil, and Matthew. We go over the episode as a whole and we do a little deep dive into the social media because you know that everything's going on there. And then finally, to wrap up the week of Survivor 48 coverage, we do have Survivor Social on Sundays at 8 with the lovely Tegwith and Cara, as they talk about all the kind of social aspects of the game and what's been happening. They give out their Social Butterfly Award, and Cara does her little sweet thing. But this isn't just a podcast about Survivor 48, because we do have Survivor AU that we are still covering. You can catch that tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, which I do believe the graphic for Australian time is now wrong. That is going to be noon Australian time, because we've had loads of daylight savings. But that is myself, Matthew, and Valeria from Titans versus Rebels, absolute queen. We will be discussing all of the week of AU coverage and what has been transpired. We are at the final four. One of them is about to win, but we've got to see right now what's going to happen with Survivor 48. So we just want to thank you guys so much for coming, joining us. We've loved having you here. Everyone that's been in the chat, thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate you guys joining in and giving us your thoughts every week. We will see you next week. Well, will we? No, we won't. Tori will.
I'll see you next week.
Tori will see you next week. But remember next week. It is a live pre-show at the Ron Clark Academy. Some of us will see you there next week. Bye, guys.